Hey guys, thanks for joining me back. You're looking at the next project I chose to do today because who doesn't love cupcakes? So, and knowing that there's a 50-50% chance that on our grandbaby due in July, it may be a girl, maybe a boy. So I wanted to make something for a girl here today. And again, cupcakes are the style nowadays, and there's so many patterns out there for cupcake designs, and this one was really cute, so I did want to share this one. This is from redheart.com, and it is an intermediate pattern, so make sure to go over your instructions before engaging in this pattern. So you'll pull this pattern up, and the pattern number is LW2210, and it calls for TLC Baby in powder pink and white. These colors, according to the site, have been discontinued. So just so you know, I will be using for this particular part, which is going to be the bottom of the cupcake, I'm just going to use a standard red heart pink because basically these strands here are held together. It's a sport weight yarn. So I'm just going to use a standard 4-weight yarn for that. And also for the actual cupcake top, it calls for Red Heart Buttercup. I do not have Buttercup in my selection, so I have traded that out for what's called in Premier Yarns. I'm going to use a color called Peekaboo, and I will show you that as well. You will need a 6.5 millimeter hook and a yarn needle. It does call for making a rather large pom-pom on top. So go ahead and pull up that pattern, and it does have two different sizes, a 14 and a 16 inch, and I will of course make a standard 14, which is what the instructions state. Okay, so get everything you need together and we'll meet up and start this adorable pattern. Alright, so here are my color selections for the cupcake hat. You're just going to need a standard white, and that's only for the pom-pom, okay? And then this is going to be my standard pink that I'm going to use for the base of the cupcake. Read your instructions if you choose to use the, or not the TLC, because it apparently has been discontinued, as I did mention, or something comparable. You will need to hold two strands together to make the sorry about that, the actual thickness that it does ask for. So I'm just going to use a standard 4-weight for that. And this is the yarn that I'm going to be using for the top of the cupcake. It's very similar. It's similar in the weight, and it's similar in the style, and I thought it would be really cute because of the little puff balls on top in different colors that can act as sprinkles as well. So use your imagination when you're working patterns like this, and just go with whatever you feel that you like when you're working them. So what you want to do is put everything but the color that you're going to use to make the band. And of course you got to have your 6.5 millimeter hook. If you want to try to make it a different size, you can use a different size hook, or a size other than what's stated in the pattern, of course. Okay, so basically what you want to do for the hat is we're going to start with a slip stitch, or slip knot, sorry. You want to chain 48. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, so now you have your 48 chains, and now what you're just going to simply do is you want to join your chain without any twisting. So join it to that first single crochet or chain. Alright, so now you'll have your huge circle. And now what you're going to do is for round 1 you want to chain up 3, and this is going to act as a double crochet throughout the pattern. So you want to double crochet in each stitch around. Alright, so we're just going to be making the base row here and working over that tail, and just double crocheting all the way around, and then we will join up once we get around. And you don't have to go all the way to where the tail is completely covered unless you want to, because you can clip that off after about 4 stitches. But you want to make sure that those tails are woven in real good at the beginning, if at all possible, because they are such a beast to hide in some projects. So I like to try to hide them best I can at the start, because my worst, absolutely worst thing to have to do in crochet is weaving ends. Alright, so go ahead and double crochet in each stitch and I'll meet you back. Alright, once I've gone all the way around, I'm going to join to the top of that beginning chain 3 with a slip stitch. And now for rows 2, 3, and 4, they're going to be worked the same. You want to chain up 3, and you're going to front post, double crochet around the next post. So yarn over and go behind that post and double crochet. Now you're going to back post, double crochet around each of the next 2. So yarn over and go around the back, push that post of that next stitch back, and double crochet. And do that around the next post as well. And again, this is not a tutorial to teach you how to do the back and front post double crochet. If you do need to learn that stitch, you can go to my channel and do those videos beforehand. Alright, so now you are just going to repeat this process round. So you are going to front post, double crochet around the post of the next 2, because this the only reason we did 1 here is because this is going to act as the other. So front post, double crochet around each of the next 2. So 1, 2, okay, and now you're going to back post, double crochet around the next 2. And then you're just going to alternate 2 and 2 and 2. So now 2 around the next, 1 around each of the next 2. Sorry about that. So there's 1, 2, and now 2 back post, double crochet, 1 and 2. Alright, so basically you're going to work this round, which is round 2, you're going to work it for rounds 3 and 4. Alright, so you're going to work this row and 2 additional rows the exact same way. Okay, and then what you're going to do is just slip stitch in the top of that chain 3, and then we will start working the ruffle, which is kind of like the dripping of the icing, and we'll meet you back up for that. Alright, going all the way around, I'm going to slip stitch in my beginning chain 3, and this is what you should have with 4 rows total. Alright, so now we're going to work on the ruffle, and this is chain 5. So what you want to do here is chain up 1, and you're going to be working in the front loop only of each double crochet, okay? So you want to work single crochets in each of the front loops. So we're just going to go ahead and single crochet just in that first one. And now you're going to work in the front loops only. So again, you know the difference between working in 2 loops and 1 loop. You want to go into the front loop and work a single crochet. And you're just going to work that around. Okay? And that reasoning will become clear starting on the next couple rounds. So just work in each front loop. And I also picked this pattern. I know cupcakes are year-round ideas, but we here in Iowa are starting to see warmer temperatures, and it just opens up my thinking on spring ideas. And this just jumped in my mind, the cute little pastel cupcake look, and I just loved it, and I just wanted to go with it. So it just reminded me of spring. And this is what I chose to do, and maybe if we have a little granddaughter in July, she will be able to wear this. And if not, and it's a he, then he will be wearing Harley stuff or John Deere stuff, so we'll see. Alright, so we're just working in our front loops. And if you don't like that there's so much gap in your stitches, you can go down a size if you want. If you want to go down to a 6mm, which is half a size, you can. It's not going to make a huge difference, only because your yarn is going to stretch enough to accommodate that half of size difference. So you have that option as well. And if you want it bigger or smaller than the 14 or 16 inch, understand that you can change that considerably by the size difference, because you can still use a 4mm hook even on this yarn. Not so much on the cupcake top part, but you can use, I'd have to look, but you can sometimes get away with using a 5.5mm at the smallest with those yarns. I've done it, but a little harder, but I've done it. Alright, so once you get to that last one, then you want to slip stitch into that beginning stitch, okay? So that's what you're going to have at the end of round 5. Now round 6, you want to chain up 1, and you're going to single crochet into the first stitch. You're going to skip the next one, and then you're going to do 5 double crochet in the next single crochet. Okay, so skip 1 and then do 5 double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're going to skip the next stitch, single crochet into the next, and you're going to repeat that around. So again, you'll skip the next one, 5 double crochet in the next one. So basically you're just making shells at this point, or groups or clusters of double crochet, however you choose to call it. It's called a couple different things. So you've got your 5 doubles here, skip the next, single crochet in the next. Okay? And you're just going to simply repeat this all the way around. Okay? So I will do that and I will meet you back. Alright, I've gone all the way around. Now you're going to skip putting in that last single crochet, and you're just going to simply join into that top beginning stitch, and you're just going to finish that off. Okay? And then you can just weave that in as you wish. Now you're going to move to your second color, which is going to be the top of your cupcake. I'm just going to turn this around so I can show you a little bit of where you're going to be working, so that everybody can get a good view. Now if you're looking on the inside here, you see where we did our 4 rows of post stitching. So here's the first row, second, third, fourth. Now where we're going to be putting our stitches in this next row is you're going to be working in top in the back loop of row 4. Okay, so basically you're just going to go right here into this back loop, and you're going to work that all the way across. Okay, so I'm going to turn my piece back around, and you're just going to, basically it says you can just join it in the remaining back loop of any stitch. So if I turn it over and I find the top of my stitch. And if you want to start like this, you can, that's fine. But you want to start on the right side of it. So I'm just going to find my stitch. And then all you're just going to do, grab your stitch and put your hook in there and put your yarn. Alright, and then you'll just pull that through. Then you're just going to chain 1. And all you're going to do for this round is you're just going to single crochet in each back loop. So single crochet into that same stitch and work a single crochet into each one of these back loops, working over that tail because these chunky ones are harder to weave in. And if you have to look real good to find that stitch, that's fine. But if you bend that icing, the dripping of the icing over towards the front, those loops will pop out at you. Okay. So just working in those back loops all the way around with a single crochet. Alright, so this is what it should look like once you get all the way around. Now you're just going to slip stitch into that first stitch and join that round. Now for round 2, you want to do a chain up 1, and you're going to single crochet in each of the first 6 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Then you're going to work single crochet 2 together in the next 2 stitches. So insert your hook in the next stitch, pull up, insert in the next, pull up, yarn over, pull through all 3, and you work those 2 together. Now you'll do this repetitively all the way around, so you will work 6 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then work 2 together. So there's the 1, and there's 2, so you'll yarn over, pull through all 3 of those loops, and then just repeat that all the way around this row. Alright, I have ended with a single crochet 2 together, so you should have 42 stitches. So join that round now with the slip stitch. Now round 3 is going to be similar, but you're just going to have 1 less single crochet in between. So chain up 1, and then you're going to single crochet in each of the next 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then you're going to work a single crochet 2 together here. Okay, and then 5 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Single crochet 2 together. And then 5 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Single crochet 2 together, and then your 5 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your decrease, and then 5 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, your decrease, and 5 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and you will decrease your last 2 and join. That will leave you with 36 stitches. So go ahead and count those, and then we'll continue with round 4. Okay, round 4 is the same. You're just going to chain up 1, and then you're going to single crochet in each of the next 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and decrease. 4 singles. 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, and decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, and decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, and decrease. And your last section, 1, 2, 3, 4, and decrease. And join. Okay, that will leave you with 30 stitches. Now for rounds 5 and 6, you're going to do the same thing. Okay, only you're going to have 3 single crochet in between for this next round, and then round 6 you'll have 2 in between. Okay, so go ahead and do rounds 5 and 6, and I will do them as well, and then we'll join up for round 7. Alright, so I've completed rounds 5 and 6, and you see that our little top hole here is getting a lot smaller. So round 7 is the same thing, so we're going to chain up 1, and then you're just going to simply single crochet 2 together all the way around. Okay, and you'll end up with 9 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and last 2 is 9. And then you will join. And round 8, chain up 1, you will single crochet 2 together, and that will give you 5, but then you will also have a single crochet in the last stitch. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now you'll single crochet into that last stitch. Alright, and then you will join, and I know it's hard to deal with it when it gets this small. And if at this point my circle is pretty much closed, if you want to continue and do that last round, that's fine. If not, you can just kind of cut this thread off and just thread it shut with a needle. It's an option. So chain 1, and then you'll just single crochet 2 together to give you 2 stitches if you can find them. So there's 1. It's very tedious at this point. And 2. Go in from the inside there. and then you can single crochet in the last stitch, but I don't really have to do that because my circle's closed. Now you're just going to finish off here, okay, and then you can just take this and pull this under here. Take your tail, pull it under, and you can weave that in. Okay, and now what you have is your little cupcake hat. Okay, so now what you're just going to do is you want to finish weaving in your ends. You want to hide those really good. I try to leave myself at least 3 inches most of the time to work with, because when your items are going on babies, they're always fidgety and all over the place, and you want these ends to really be worked in good. And also when it comes to washing your items, you don't want to give them a lot of room to actually come out. Okay, so this is now your cupcake hat. And if you get too much of a point up here on the top, which that's going to be covered up by the pom-pom, but that comes from having to do so many single crochet 2 together, which is why I say another option is to take a needle and just to thread those last couple stitches closed. But now taking your white, and you can make your pom-pom to your desired length. And I like to make mine using my 4 fingers. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And I do not make any pom-pom less than 25 wraps. If you want it a little bit more shallow, I do 25. If you want it more fuller, I do more. So 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll stop at 35. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut this. And then you want to cut yourself an extra long tie piece, because that's going to give you the room to tie it onto the beanie. So you place that in the center. Make sure you get it in the center, and you tie that tight. And then I'll usually flip mine over, give it another good tie, and then I'll do it once more. And like I say, pom-poms are easy enough to make with your bare hands. So then you take your scissors and just snip your loops. Like I say, you can make them larger. I love large pom-poms. I'm always making super big pom-poms for hats. And babies are adorable when they have lots of large pom-pommed items. Those little pom-poms just bouncing off their heads. Okay, and if you feel like you want to even them up, or if you like them squiggly like that, by all means, let them be squiggly. And the simplest way to apply the pom-pom, take yourself a hook, go underneath, pull this one strand through, make sure this pom-pom is centered, go back underneath and make sure you have a couple stitches in between the 2 strands. That way you have something to tie it on to and keep it in there. Pull it through, hold those strands, make sure that pom-pom's going to be centered. Let's see, I think I need to pull that over a bit. And it just takes a little adjusting. I don't have my pom-pom centered. So yeah, it's important. You got to find the center of your hat here. There we go. That's better. Pull it there. And then we will pull it here. And only because of the little knot up there, it makes it a little bit more difficult to get it centered. Then you just tie it on, and you can weave in this end here if you like. Then you have your little pom-pom. Very simple. Very, very simple. Okay? And that is all there is to making the lovely little cupcake hat. And you see where the icing, the look-alike icing, just folds down. That comes from working in the actual front loop, and then the rest of the cupcake was worked in the back loop, and that just enables it to fold down just like that. Alright, that is our little cupcake hat. And just be creative with the yarns you use with these, and you can create some really adorable cupcake hats. And thank you for watching, guys, and hope you enjoyed this tutorial. And happy spring to everybody, and happy hooking!